Last year we started a competition of storytelling with maps, and this year the award winner is the State of Washington Geological Survey, and then a whole series of runner-ups. We're going to acknowledge these participants on Wednesday afternoon. You're all invited to a special session of awards. But the work is accelerating, a kind of new language, a new medium for telling our stories at all levels, inside of organizations and beyond to the public. Speaking about awards, on that Wednesday we're going to be acknowledging about 0.1% of our users with something called the Special Achievement in GIS Awards. These are the ones that receive the awards this year domestically, and these are the ones that receive them internationally. And there'll be a test later to see if you read them all. But I'd like to take a moment and have all the SAG Award winners actually stand up so we can acknowledge them in the appropriate way. Thank you. It's fun to get awards. Makes you feel good, doesn't it? I mean, it's always good to get acknowledged, no question about it. But the reason why I think we do it is also so that we can show a spotlight on just great best practices work, so we can learn from it. So I want you to, if somebody that got an award is sitting around you, connect with those guys, because they have a really amazing story to tell. And so thank you, by the way, for all of your good work. And that's not to say that all of the rest of you are not doing great work as well. This year, we are giving the Digital Transformation in GIS Award to an organization known as Abu Dhabi. It's a great city in the Middle East, in the UAE, and this city was chosen because it has taken GIS to a new frontier. They've integrated it into every government operation, every employee, and engaged to citizens. They're now taking it out to involve with the GIS hub citizens involved in it. These people have really pushed the limits, and it's time for them to be acknowledged in a major way. So I'd like to have Rashid Al-Mansouri please join me, and ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a great hand. Are you going to talk?
Yes, we're going to talk. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jack, for this award.
Oh yes, there's the award. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I forgot.
So we've been standing here in this stage. This is very important, and it's very important for us and for colleagues also, and partnership. So to achieve this award, it's not easy. You have to get what they call it the support from leadership.
Management support.
Management support, plus clear vision.
Yes.
Where you have to implement and get the benefit of it.
And do the work.
And also we have a good partnership like what we have with Esri today.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rashid.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen. Great. Our next award this year is the Enterprise GIS Award, and this is being given this year to the National Geospatial Intelligence Organization, or sometimes known as NGA. Now, some of you know this organization quite well because they've shared their information publicly, but I want to tell you some inside information about them. They have, in my estimation, the largest GIS database in the world. In fact, they make a map for the entire world. It has billions of features in it, in a geodatabase. And they update this database like every day with over 100,000 update transactions a month. And while some of you have high volumes, I mean, this is taking GIS to scale. And they also support mapping and aeronautical charting, nautical charting, but even that's not enough to get such an award. They've implemented a portal, ladies and gentlemen, which is amazing, bringing all the information across the national security organizations together. And they support tens of thousands of daily viewers on this portal. So I'm going to ask that Justin Poole and Jim and Tracy, why don't you come up here and give this award? Tracy Toutant, Jim McGuire. These are amazing people to me. Justin. Thank you. Tracy. Thank you. Jim. My great pleasure. Are we going to take a photo here, or are you going to give us a speech? Yes, absolutely.
Jack, I just wanted to, on behalf of the women and men of NGA, thank you and Esri for your tremendous partnership over the years. It has been hugely beneficial to us and our national security, and I look forward to the great things that are going to happen here in the future. So thank you very much on behalf of NGA.
Thank you very much, Jim. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Jim. I wish I could tell you the full story about this organization. I mean, it has been doing amazing work, not only for the women and men in the United States, but around the world, building collaboration, making the world a safer place. I know that personally. The last award that I'm going to give this morning is my award. I get to pick it. I get to pick the people. I'm very selfish about this. There's no judging about it. I just get to pick it. And this is to an amazing organization as well. It's the United Parcel Service. I grew up getting deliveries from UPS when I was a young kid working in my parents' nursery, and watched these guys take GIS to scale. And the best way for you to really get what I'm talking about and why I'm so excited about it is to see a short visit on a video. So could you roll that for me now, please?
Any given day, UPS will deliver 19 million packages around the world. And for us to be able to do that effectively, we needed better technologies to manage our routes.
A typical driver delivers 150 packages. If 10 or 30 of those packages have different commit times, the permutations on how to deliver those packages is enormous. We needed to be able to have a strong mapping system that allowed us to create a perfect map.
When you combine the Esri platform with the optimization algorithms that we've been perfecting here at UPS over the last few years, we have the perfect combination of a solution that ultimately provides us with optimized routes in a large scale across many drivers every single day.
ORION stands for On-Road Integrated Optimization Navigation. It provides our service providers with an optimal way to deliver their packages for the day.
ORION is just truly a technological marvel at UPS, helping us every single day to get every delivery completed on time, all pickups completed on time, at the lowest possible cost.
So if we save 1 mile per driver and we multiply that times the number of drivers we have every day of the year, and the number of miles we save is enormous.
The Esri platform has been critical for us to enable ORION at UPS. We estimate that ORION is saving UPS anywhere between $350 to $400 million a year.
In the future, I see us moving our systems worldwide, and we'll be putting more and more map data in the hands of our supervisors and our drivers in a mobile fashion, so they'll be able to take it with them.
As the driver's day changes, as customers' demand change throughout the day, as traffic conditions change, we will be constantly optimizing the route to provide the drivers with the best route to follow at that particular point in the day. When I think about the power of the Esri technology combined with the UPS technology, I think what we've been able to accomplish with ORION is very unique.
It's cool. Yeah. Why don't you guys come up? Joining me, ladies and gentlemen, is Jack Levis, who's the originator of this ORION project, but also his boss, Jim Collins, and a team that's magnificent in operations, research, and GIS. Congratulations,
Thank you,
Jim.
my friend.
Thank you. Jim, congratulations. Yes. Oh yeah, there's the award. You're supposed to take that. Yeah, that's good. Are you going to talk, Jack?
I am. I think Jim and I are both going to say something.
Oh, you're going to say something. Okay, so.
First, I want to thank you for the award. Thank you for the collaboration and teamwork. Also for your leadership in this area of GIS. I'm truly impressed. Orion, you can see that we're very proud of. And the people on this stage put their heart and soul into this system. And I've been at UPS for 41 years. These are the best people I've ever worked with. But the truth is, Orion was a team effort from a much larger group. In fact, if the people that made Orion successful were here, we'd need a room many times this size. I'm glad that I was the program manager with Orion from day one. I was there when it was a concept, and that was a blessing. But my job in those 10 years of building the algorithms and testing methods and procedures and working with these great people to integrate Esri, that was much smaller of an effort than actually deploying the system and dealing with change management, which is what we need to think about. Testing methods and procedures and metrics and making sure the deployment worked. And we had great support from our C-suite, and you saw our Chief Information Officer talk about that. But we were also fortunate to have a great deployment manager who made sure that we all rode as one and got the benefits in the field. So I would like to have Jim Collins, who was the deployment manager, talk. He's our Vice President of Engineering. That's an important piece of this kind of puzzle.
That's great.
Thank you, Jack. Orion was a large deployment in the US. I'm happy to say that we are deploying internationally right now, Orion. So there are 4 groups I'd like to briefly recognize. We had a very large group that were 100% dedicated to a deployment team. So UPS utilized 700 fully dedicated Orion deployment resources over a 4-year period. Some of those resources were part of the deployment for all 4 years. They touched every geography in the United States. They implemented 55,000 routes personally with the drivers in the United States.
Wow.
Many nights they stayed away from home and stayed in hotels, and we would not be here today recognizing Orion if it weren't for them. The second group is our operations management team. We deployed Orion to 1,300 operating centers in the US. Our operators are ultimately responsible for the results, and our operating management team accepted the change, learned new skills, and were responsible for deploying and did an absolutely fabulous job. The third group are our drivers. We and many of our customers think we have the best drivers in the industry. Orion would never have been successful if there wasn't a close collaboration with all our drivers at UPS. We are just proud that they're allowing Orion to make their days more efficient. And the final group I'd like to recognize, we would not have had great results if we didn't have a great product. And if it weren't for Jack Dangerman and the Esri company, Orion would not have functioned to get us the results we have today. So Jack,
thank you, Jim.
Thank you to you and your organization for what you've given UPS.
Our great pleasure.
Thank you.
You very, very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, very, very good. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it. You know, our technology is really nice, but from my perspective, it's about 5% of the deal. It's really collaboration and organization and thinking and good thinking, the kind of things that all of you do that makes your system successful. And they're evidence of this. A couple years ago, my wife and I went to Spain. Some of you have been to Spain? Some of you? Some of you are from Spain, I know. But we went down to Barcelona, and remember the Antonio Gaudi, these great church that he made, and organic buildings. I was just in love with those buildings. But we came across a statue with a quotation on him that really exemplifies not only what UPS does, but what many of you do. And he said, "Good work is the fruit of cooperation and collaboration. And this can only be based on love." And what I've come to know about Jack and the UPS team is it's sort of like this spirit of love. They're supporting each other, they're connected, they enable things happening. Richard Wurman, I like to call him Saul because he's my good friend, is often accredited as being the person who started the information architecture revolution. Most of you actually have heard of the TED conference and TED series. This is Richard's work. For decades, he both authored it and created it and ran it. And it's something that's affecting all of us. How many of you listen to TED Talks and are involved? Isn't this amazing? But of course, he's very unpretentious about that. He says, well, that's just in my past. Why is that? Because what I know about Richard, Saul, is that he is always about trying to understand things. He brings a new meaning to the word understanding. He is interested in understanding understanding. You get the idea? And he has looked at different methods for how we understand and drawn from his friends through TED and other places to try to understand how we understand. He developed in the last several years this amazing book called Understanding Understanding. Isn't that neat? Well, in this book, there's lots of pages about maps as a way for understanding and GIS as a way for understanding. And he let us very kindly take a few chapters of that and print a special version, and that's been handed out to all of you in your bag. So, to my dear friend, come up here. I want to acknowledge you. Please come up. You can walk up. Do you need some help walking up? Or maybe in case you fall down.
Yeah, I'm doing this.
Okay,
that's the way I
good.
have to go down too.
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
Richard,
Oh my goodness.
here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Saul Wurman.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I asked Jack how long I had up here, and he said, just a second. No, he said, no, just a minute. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Is that it? Aren't you going to say anything?
Well, I won't stop then.
That's the trouble.
That's the trouble.
You have to understand Saul to know what he's saying.
I can be flattered into submission.
Yes.
And flattery from you is the highest level of flattery. And we're both flattered by all these people here.
Yes.
And you flatter me so much by having me up here. You know I'm tearing up a little bit.
It's okay.
This meeting Jack a few years ago, where it turned out he had seen that I had done work in cartography when I was in my 20s. And then going on to other things, you know, medicine things and sports things and then guidebooks. But I always loved maps. And on this little booklet, it's the last 9 chapters of this book, I retitled it and called it Map, Mankind's Ability to Perceive. And I also added the word understanding, and I know I couldn't ask permission to do that, but to your new mantra, which is a very good mantra.
You like it?
I like the mantra, but I like understanding the science. And it's because we want to understand the science, and that's what everybody's talking about today. And it's your compassion for understanding. The joyfulness of everybody who speaks here.
You're speaking to them.
I'm talking to you.
Okay.
I can't see that.
I
When
understand.
the audience is black like that, you can't see a face, and I enjoy your face. Okay, my minute's up. You know what I'm talking about, everybody. And it's really altered my life, being attached, coming here every year, and seeing so many people who really care about making not the buck, but the understanding. And that just touches me. It's my whole life. That's my whole life, period. I'll see you later, Jack.
Okay. Thank you, Richard.
I'm gonna do this way. I'm 82, and I have to get back to work now.